episode of Wine Bantz. I'm here with Daniel Collins.
Hello. Yes, that's it. Daniel Collins. You got it right.
Well,
how are you, Anita?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm fantastic.
Well, let's not pretend we haven't been talking to each other for like an hour now.
Yeah, we were just warming up, right?
How's your Friday going?
How's my who going?
Friday.
My Friday's fantastic. It's still Friday?
Yeah.
I've been having so much fun. It feels like Saturday already.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yay.
Okay, so today we're going to talk about your... I'm just going to jump into it. That's okay.
Yes, of course it is. Let's do it.
Your career in photography.
Yay. My extra long career?
Yeah. How long have you been in...
Anita, I'm almost afraid to say it out.
Okay, we're gonna start with what city you started in. Because did you start in Vancouver?
No.
Okay, so let's start there.
Let's.
Just walk us through the history of how you got into it, where you started from.
Fantastic.
And come closer.
Yeah, how's it sound? Does it sound good? Testing, 1, 2. Sound
You're good.
You can see.
You're good.
Fabulous.
Just don't be there.
Okay. I can be right here, just like this. Yeah. In Montreal, I decided super early I was going to be a photographer, like I was 14. And then I just started bringing photography books to school and reading photography books. Then as soon as I finished high school, I went to the Dawson Institute of Photography.
Mm-hmm.
But I was already getting gigs, so I quit. And then I just started working, and I've been doing it ever since. And that was a long time ago.
So when did you come to Vancouver?
I came to Vancouver 25 years ago.
So like what led to that? If it was going so well in
Montreal.
Montreal.
Well, it was going well enough to not attend school.
Okay.
But not well enough to expand and own my own place, because I was renting a studio in Old Montreal, and the rents there are great and everything. But I was shooting just music back then. So I
like rock videos?
No videos, just stills.
Okay.
Right, but music, all kinds of music, but just almost exclusively music stuff. And then so I wanted to go to LA because that's where the action was.
Okay.
Right? So I rode my motorcycle across the country, and then I stopped in Vancouver to recoup and figure stuff out. Mm-hmm. And I was here for 2 weeks, and I shot Pearl Jam, the big rock band. And I'm still here 25 years later.
So you just fell in love with the city.
And it's been good to me.
It's been good to
me. Yes. So
that's pretty good.
It's been a ball. Yeah.
So what's the industry like here in Vancouver? And where else have you worked in?
Yeah, just Montreal and Vancouver.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had the opportunity to travel a bit for work, but always for clients in Montreal or Vancouver.
Okay.
So what's it like in Vancouver, the photography thing right now? Well, you certainly have to be a generalist, right? You have to shoot everything.
Okay.
Right? You have to shoot all kinds of
Because that was my next
stuff.
question. Like, what's your specialty? What kind of photography do you enjoy?
I enjoy all of it. I'm a people guy, right? I love people. But I do product photography. I do all kinds of stuff. Because I have a commercial studio. Okay. And, bills in Vancouver are pretty high.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I've got a daughter. So, yeah, I'm constantly looking for and doing work.
So when you say you're a generalist, what does that mean?
Means that... I shoot a lot of different stuff. For instance, we were just talking about shooting on set. Right. So I'm doing film stills.
Okay.
Right. Mm-hmm. Earlier today, we had a corporate headshot. I do a ton of that stuff. Okay. It's Vancouver, and there's a lot of work, and I'm good at it, and I like it. Okay. And they can afford it. You can plug
yourself.
It's fantastic. It's great. And, of course, a ton of fashion work, and whatever I can do is wonderful, because I just love creating images. Right? It's just, I still love it. That's the thing. Is
there no one specialty that you like? I really enjoy this more than others.
It comes and goes, right? Because for the first 15 years, all I did was music, which was fantastic. But after 15 years of music, I was like, what else is out there? What else is going on, right? So.
When you say stills, what does that mean? Is that still video or?
No, stills is on set. It's single images. Okay. And then they use those pictures for publicity. Oh, okay. Or on this latest project, they use the shots for. I was working for another photographer, and they were using the shots for. During the movie, they were the Wendy Williams story. Mm-hmm. They do a lot of flashbacks, and there's lots of paparazzi shots and stuff like that. Right. So it was that stuff. So they're using it in the movie to help tell the story, but it's stills, strictly stills. So it's stills in an individual shot.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fun.
It is fun.
How does that play out in video?
Well, the art director will determine perhaps a pivotal point in Wendy's life. For instance, one thing we shot was coming out of the hospital with her then boyfriend, who was the father of the baby, sort of thing. It's that paparazzi stuff. Yeah. So then they printed it into a newspaper, and then the following scene is that shot in the newspaper. Then they feature it in the film, right? In some fashion, but I haven't seen it yet. So
yeah, sure. I was like, "Are you allowed to talk about that?"
I hope so. Are you kidding? It'll be good for the movie. They'll use the publicity, right?
So, have you worked with like actors and models alike?
Yes.
Like, do you prefer any group, or like, what's your experience working with actors versus models?
Actors are fantastic. I like models because the shoots are typically longer. Actors are a lot of fun too, but they don't offer as much. They usually give good face, which is great. Whereas models give good face, good body, good attitude, everything else. So the fashion model stuff is.
But like, fun. What's the difference in terms
because typically an actor is looking for a unique image of himself that portrays himself, whereas fashion imagery is way more wide open than what you can create, right? So an actor comes here for a headshot. Okay. That's fantastic. He doesn't want all this other stuff, right? He's not as interested in exploring other things. Although a lot of actors are fun to be around and have an exploratory nature. But they're typically here for a headshot. For a headshot. And that's a ball too. I love it.
So have you worked on sets with actors?
I have, but typically you're not working for the actor at that point. You're working for the production.
But like you will have to interact with them. At some
Absolutely.
point.
Oh, yes.
And how does that usually go for you? Or like, what's your experience with that?
Oh, it's always great.
Any fun stories to share?
Oh my God, all kinds. Everything's fantastic. But more stories from rock and roll, probably.
Okay. We want to hear one of those.
It's all good.
Okay, tell me a story from rock and roll. Is that your music days?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, oh my God, there's so many and they're all fantastic.
Okay, give me like...
Okay, so...
Give me three.
Okay, so shooting the Junos in Vancouver, there was a pop star... I'm trying to blank. I can't remember her name. She was so awesome. She was a Canadian pop star. She was the host of the show, and she made me proud to be Canadian because she was so charming.
What's
and
her
wonderful. Name? It escapes me right now. She's such a big star. I can't remember her name. The guy from AC/DC did her albums, and what was it? It'll come to me. That's
okay. Tell the story.
Yeah, she's great. So she was just so warm and loving, and she probably meets 5,000 people a day, and yet she was introduced to me. We had a 2-minute photo shoot, and she took the time to say, "Hello, Daniel, how are you?" Like that's a Canadian star, right? Like that's amazing. Yeah. Whereas if you shoot Janet Jackson, who I've shot.
Really?
Yeah, she had no time.
Just name drop.
She had no time to say hello to the photographer.
Oh, yeah.
But that's okay. I get it.
That's Janet Jackson.
Yeah, she's in a different league, right? And yeah, that poor woman. Yeah. It was all good. That was an equally good experience as well. Okay. What a journey, right?
Right. Yeah, that's pretty. Have you you want to name drop any other people that you've worked with that we might know?
I say all the ones that my kid was impressed with, right? Like Gwen Stefani, but she doesn't call her that. She calls her Gwen Stefani, or I always say it wrong.
Oh yeah.
How do you say it? Yeah.
Gwen Stefani.
Oh, okay, that's what I say.
Okay. Is it wrong?
My daughter often corrects me. Maybe I think I used to say Gwen Stefani.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I'm probably not the authority in pronunciation.
But you know who I meant, so that's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
Well,
yeah, Red Hot Chili Peppers, they're fantastic.
Okay.
And all the stuff I liked when I was coming up, right? So like shooting Metallica is always a thrill.
Right.
I'm of that age.
And that would be in Vancouver? You didn't have to go to the States or anything for that?
I shot the Chili Peppers in Tokyo. I shot for Kiss in Bangkok.
Oh.
That was like the biggest, most exotic stuff.
So what city have you worked in? Yeah, for travel that you was very memorable.
Tokyo was pretty cool.
Okay. How long ago was that?
I think it was either 99 or 2000, so already 20 years ago.
Ooh.
I know, time flies. I'm dating myself. But nonetheless, that's where I came from. That's what I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Red Hot Chili Peppers in Tokyo?
Correct.
Were they on tour or something?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, performance stuff.
So that's
magazine.
Random.
Yeah, it was specifically for Burn, Burn is the Japanese Rolling Stone. And I had met them on a shoot here because they rented my studio for another band called Strapping Young Lad. who I did a bunch of pictures for.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's all connected, right? It's all connected.
So do you have a lot of people you've worked with just all over the place in the studio?
Well, actually, the stuff that's in this studio is only the stuff I've shot in the last 5 years, because I've only been here 5 years.
Okay.
So I don't put up too much stuff, unless it's like
I thought like you've lived here for a while. Or
no.
because it looks pretty lived in.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Homey is what I mean.
Yeah. It's all good. It's all good. It's a creative space.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Okay. So what is like, say, I don't know, a younger person or anybody wanted to get into photography? Like, what's your advice? Where do they start? Like, is there special equipment?
Shoot and just shoot what you love. So if you're into motorcycles, shoot motorcycles. If you're into girls, shoot fashion. You're into
what
guys,
kind of camera should I buy?
Get whatever you can afford and just start working. Don't let that be the goal. Just get what's the best camera? The one you have. Okay. Right? Start shooting on your phone. Just start creating. Okay. Learn what you can do.
What did they look out for? Like, how do you improve in your craft?
Yeah, that's another good point. Shoot a lot, but examine what you looked at.
Okay.
Right? Like, study what you've created.
Okay.
And see what's junk and what's not, and keep going in the what's not pile. Right?
How do you respond to criticism of your work?
I love it. Bring it on. Yeah, I want to know. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Is it something that you openly accept, or like how do you sift what's good criticism and what's kind of like somebody being picky?
It's all good, but picky is okay. I like a challenge. I don't mind picky. Right? I don't mind.
Have you ever worked with an extra picky client?
Oh yes, absolutely. In fact, I had an art director from Berlin, a 29-year-old kid. Was so knowledgeable about everything. He blew me away with how picky he was, but I loved it. It was awesome. It was like, yeah, bring it on.
What shoot was that? Like,
that was for exotic cars. So we're shooting Ferraris.
Oh, okay, Lambos. It was cars.
Yeah.
So what was he looking out for? That was so.
In this case, he was asking very specific questions that no one has asked on a shoot before, which I was happy to share with him. Right? It was
like what?
Like the f-stop I was using, and
what is an f-stop?
exactly. Yes, it's not. It's typically. It's typically just part of the photography language.
Lingo,
right?
yeah.
But he was right into it and fantastic. So that's great.
That's good.
It was good.
Are there any changes you would like to see in your industry, or like what are the positives that you do enjoy and what are the negatives that you wish would change?
It's all super positive. I love that we can take a shot and show everybody right away. Like I love that. Right? Okay. I used to shoot, bring my film to the lab, go back the next day to get it, and then who saw the shot? The model, the art director, right? Now it's fantastic. It's like 5 minutes after you've done the shoot, you can post what you've done. I love sharing that. I love my family in Montreal can see the shots I produced today.
Okay.
Like, that's cool, right? I love that. Just sharing the images. It's so wonderful. Yeah.
But then what are the negatives?
What are the negatives?
What would you like to change? Would you like to improve? Do you think there could be more diversity in the industry? Would you like to shoot?
Absolutely. There should be way more Irish people in the industry.
Of course, we would like to see more Irish people.
Yes, more diversity for sure. Embrace it because that's exotic and interesting, right? So we want to keep it exotic and interesting. So
define exotic.
Anything that you didn't do yesterday. Right? Or anything you didn't shoot yesterday that's something exotic, right?
What would you like to shoot that you haven't done before?
I feel like I've shot, right? I've been a commercial shooter for so long. I've shot so much stuff. But what's my favorite gig? The next gig.
Yeah, right? But is there something you'd like to try that you haven't tried before? Even in terms of just being creative.
Yeah.
Rather than it just being a gig.
I did a shoot for Grouse Mountain years ago, and they hired a helicopter, and we flew around in a helicopter all day, and so we shot stuff for Grouse Mountain, and I kept thinking, wow, I wish I could have had a bunch of models. Yeah. Right? I wish we could have set something up on the mountain differently. So
wait, it was just the mountain?
Yeah, it was promo for the mountain.
Right.
Yeah, so the different regions of the mountain.
So how would the models have played into the photo?
Oh, I would have made it work. Let me tell you. I don't know right now what I would have done, but we could have done some interesting stuff.
Right. Yeah. How long ago was this?
Whenever they did their rebranding, maybe 11 years ago.
Okay.
Maybe 10 years ago.
So, are there any current photos that they're using that you did?
Oh, anything that's a grouse shot from that. Yes, for sure.
Oh,
for sure.
So you like
as well as we see it all the time as Vancouver Symphony Orchestra. I did a season with them, and that was 10 years ago, and they're still using my pictures.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's great.
So there's something you can go and look up and recognize, like that's
sure. And for the VSO, just downtown, look up on the building, right?
What is VSO? Vancouver Symphony. Okay.
Yeah. So there's all kinds of images floating around.
Okay. Is there any other stuff you've done around Vancouver that we could recognize?
Well, now everything's so fleeting, right? It goes hand in hand with that. On the same day you could show your work. That also means the next day your work's gone, right?
Oh,
but it's always had that.
Really?
Yes, because I remember shooting Snoop Dogg, and I remember thinking,
not Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg, yeah. And I remember thinking, oh, that's so cool. But then it occurred to me, he's going to be on another shoot in 2 days in Chicago, right? So it's fleeting, right? It's fleeting, but that's okay. That's the
okay.
nature of it. Yeah, because you got to keep feeding this media beast, right? We all have to keep producing images to keep people interested, and advertisers need images to sell their stuff. So, have
you done any videography?
I have friends that do it really well, so I've done a little bit, but I usually get my friends to do it.
Right, you don't like it that much, or you're...
I'm just not as good at it.
Okay,
I'm not as good.
Is it something you want to work on, or you're just like, nah?
It's interesting. It's interesting. But I haven't flexed any muscle on it, right? I haven't really delved too deep into it.
Okay. What's the most interesting gig or project you worked on recently?
The headshot I did earlier today.
Oh, yeah?
It sounds kooky, right?
It's always like the last thing.
It's just keep busy, keep working, especially after COVID, right? That was a bit of a hit. So, yeah, any gig now is so
Yeah,
precious.
How was that during COVID for you?
Yeah, it was terrible.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'm lucky I was going to say new lover, but I'm lucky I got a new girlfriend that'll keep me busy. Yes.
But in terms of your work and stuff, it hit you hard?
Oh, my God, yeah. 3 months of no income. That's
right, yeah.
Yeah.
When was it? I think you said you went to the Caribbean recently for a job?
Last year I did, where was that in the Caribbean?
You don't even remember.
Well, it used to be called Tortuga, but now it's right next to Jamaica. It's called Cayman Islands.
Cayman, that was it. So what did you go there for?
Headshots.
Okay.
Yeah, I did some corporate headshots for
they were doing Carnival or something?
Oh, well, Carnival was also there, and they were launching their product during Carnival.
Okay.
So my main assignment was headshots of the board and the owner, who was an amazing, beautiful, awesome, intelligent boss babe, and she hired me to go down, and they launched their product during what's it called? Carnival? Is that what we just called it?
Cayman Islands.
Cayman
you
Islands.
went there.
Yes. What's that big parade called? I forget.
Carnival.
There you go. Yeah,
Carnival.
That's it. Okay. Because I think Quebec Carnival. So is that what it's called? Okay, yeah. There you go.
They say Carnival.
Carnival.
I might be wrong. I don't know.
Well, you're totally right. That's it. And it sounds familiar.
Yeah, they have it in most Caribbean countries. I know they even have it.
Oh my God, it was amazing. That was fantastic.
Did you wear a costume or?
No, I wore the costume of a photographer going crazy. It was amazing. Everywhere I looked was beautiful. Oh my God, it was amazing.
Did you get to party or you were just working?
I just worked that day and then I was exhausted because it was maybe 6 hours long, right?
Oh.
Yeah, but it only felt like an hour because it was
You're just having so
amazing.
Much fun?
But then once it finished, I was like, oh my God, I'm done.
But then if it's 6 hours long, how do you select photos?
Oh, yeah, it's not easy.
For that.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Is that you who does that or the client?
Well, you have to do an initial edit for sure because you don't want your client seeing all your garbage.
Right.
But I don't know how much garbage there was during Carnival because it was so amazing, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was great. Yeah.
That's good. That's fun. How long ago was that?
Last year. Yeah. So maybe 14 months, 16 months. Yeah. Year and a half ago. Yeah. Because they didn't have one this year because I would have went back for it.
You would?
Sure.
Do you think they would have called you back?
Hell yeah. Of course.
You're so confident.
Yeah. Well, we had a good relationship.
Oh,
right?
that's
It worked
good.
out really well. Yeah, because then I ended up shooting her wedding. So she loved me.
Was that in Cayman Islands as well?
No.
Because I was like, how do you not remember if you went there twice?
Yeah.
No. Where was the wedding?
The wedding was actually in wine country here in BC.
Oh, so she's from BC?
She is.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. But she's been down there for about 12 years. Like she built her dynasty. She built her industry. She built everything down there.
Yeah. Is there anybody like famous right now that you would like to work with?
Who would I like to?
If you get a chance to work with 5 people, who would they be?
Oh my God! Whoever calls me and has the biggest budget. Right? I'm commercial, right? I'm commercial.
Nobody in mind, rock and roll?
Well, less rock and roll now because I did 15 years of it. So, so I'm not as drawn to it, right? Okay. Unless I want to score points with my kid. But I'd rather shoot other people. Like, wouldn't it be cool to shoot the Dalai Lama? Okay. Right? Or shoot, some amazing philosophers or something. Or shoot these people like David Suzuki. Okay. Right? I'd love to shoot David Suzuki, because to me he's a rock star, right?
Just a headshot, or?
Well, I don't know. I think we should do something awesome with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you do?
I don't know, like maybe crushing. I don't know.
Yeah, crushing a what?
Well, because he's been like an environmental fighter for 50 years, right? So let's let him win one. So let's have him crushing the board of SO or something, right? Like something
dramatic.
A cool concept befitting a dude who put.
Would that be like effort. A studio thing, or? Because if he's environmental, you probably want to get him outside.
Yeah, so right. You're so right.
Do you do a lot of outdoor shoots?
No.
Yep. Why not?
Because you can't control the light like you can in the studio.
Right.
Right, and I find.
But you did Carnival.
Yeah, I did, but that was the exception, right? And that was product launch and everything. Right. And a big part of that was the excitement around that. And you cannot, that was an ideal opportunity.
Okay. You just couldn't miss it. Yeah, they had a big budget.
A big budget, a big truck, and big talent. It was amazing. Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about your job?
It's different all the time. The people you meet, right? I love it. I meet people from everywhere, and it's great.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What would you be doing if you weren't doing photography?
I'd be doing photography. That's it. I decided super young, and it's just...
Do you have any other interests you'd like to share? You like your motorbike.
I love my motorbike. Right? Yeah, that's fantastic, too. I love playing hockey.
Do you do... all kinds of stuff. Oh, really? I didn't know you played hockey. What kind of hockey?
Any kind.
Floor.
Yeah, floor, ice. Yeah, rollerblades, anything. If there's a hockey game, I'm playing.
Oh, really?
In fact, typically, Anita, if I'm not shooting, I'm playing hockey.
When was the last time you played hockey?
Well, COVID. Right?
COVID? Is that her name? COVID?
COVID took the...
By the way, Daniel's French-Canadian. Yeah. So...
Yeah. But when Kate and I met at the beginning of COVID, we were playing hockey constantly.
Oh, like in physical, like not gaming?
Or? Oh yeah, no, physical. Yeah, physical. No, I don't. I'm sure there is many gaming hockeys, but no, yeah.
How did you play hockey during COVID?
No, that's the thing. Once COVID began, hockey ended.
Oh, okay.
Right. Yeah.
Where would you go to play hockey in Vancouver?
I play anywhere that will take me. So.
What are some good spots?
One of my favorite games is the Wednesday 1:00 game at Trout Lake.
Trout Lake?
Yeah, Trout Lake Community Center down here.
Okay, yeah.
For rank, I play at UBC. I play UBC, anywhere that'll take me.
Is it like drop-ins or?
I play drop-in. I play league. I play everything there is.
That's fun.
Yeah, and I have to do that because I'm freelance, so I never know when I'm working. I never know. So I fill in that time with hockey if I can.
Well, what are your other hobbies?
Yeah. Photography.
That's it?
And in the summer, riding the motorcycle.
Okay. Yeah. Is there something you'd want to get into if you had time?
Yeah, more photography.
Do you think of retiring anytime soon?
No, I'll never retire.
You'll never
I love what I do, Anita. I love it.
That's so great. Yeah. Do you feel lucky or blessed that you are doing lucky something?
And blessed. Yes, absolutely. And I try to impart that to my kid, right? I'm like, do whatever you want, but find something you like, right? That's what you
don't you think you got lucky at 14?
I got so lucky.
You just knew?
I got so lucky.
Yeah.
Yep.
How did you get in? How did you start shooting?
I had an older brother who was into it.
Okay.
But he wasn't that into it. And then I asked him to borrow his camera and I never gave it back. Oh. And then I started sneaking that camera into gigs and shooting the bands. And then, Anita, they started paying me to show up and shoot the bands.
What was the first thing you shot?
First thing I shot was I snuck my camera into a George Thorogood gig. Oh. He's a performer guy. Yeah.
How did you get in if you were 14?
Yeah. Well, by that point, maybe I was 16, but in Quebec, it's a little easier to go to rock and roll shows and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You don't need a fake ID or anything?
In Quebec, no. Not at the time. Well, in fact, it's been, they say that the minimum drinking age in Montreal is just a suggestion.
It's just a suggestion. Wow.
Right?
What does that mean? You walk into a bar and, like, you don't have to show your ID? Well, they just close their eyes as you walk in?
The first time I got asked for ID was in Vancouver.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I was 20. I thought he was joking.
No.
Yeah.
Did you have your ID on you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your favorite spot in Vancouver?
Well, something I recently discovered was the comedy action that's going on in this town. And that's been a lot of fun. So we went out to New Westminster to see a show, and that was a ball. Favorite spot in terms of?
Just chilling, entertainment.
Yeah. Well, chilling. Love to chill in Kitts, right? Kitts is a wonderful place. We got the beach across the street. That's fantastic.
Do you go there often?
Usually only when friends from out of town are here. Right? Isn't that odd? Yeah. So not often enough, but when I do go,
do you like the beach?
I love the air and I love walking around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you like the outdoors?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. But not for shooting.
Not for shooting.
Yeah. I like being in it, but yeah.
Do you have any favorite colors or schemes that you like to
No, it's all dependent on what the message we're trying to get across with the picture, right?
Right.
What are we selling? What's that's my favorite color. Mm-hmm. Whatever's going to help that image.
Right. Okay. What's your advice to any new photographers out there in Vancouver trying to break into the industry?
Yeah, in addition to
shoot.
Yeah, get better and know your stuff. Be knowledgeable, because some of these art directors are quite knowledgeable. Mm-hmm. And if you don't know the difference between an F-stop and a bus stop, you're not going to get paid. So, and that's fine too. You can just be creative, but the gear isn't free. So,
right.
Yeah, learn how to bill. It's important. Because you won't be doing it for 30 years like I've been doing if you don't start billing.
Right.
So thrilling and billing, that's what you got to do.
Right. But how do you network?
I do a tremendous amount of promo through Instagram right now, and I would say that's 90% of my promo.
Before Instagram, how were you doing
it? Was getting out, and like so much business, it's who you know. Someone gives you a chance, and you just do it, right?
How do you get that chance?
Yeah, you have to be there. You have to sneak your camera in.
Okay.
You have to shoot the shows. Okay. Someone's got to see those shots. Like you got to do it. It's not going to happen in your living room, right? It's not going to happen on your computer. You got to get out and do it.
Right.
Do it, and share what you've created, and don't be shy. You know.
So who would you say you snuck into a band? You know, you said you used to sneak into bands performing. Like, who would you show those shots to?
I started selling the shots. Right. So there was like a rock and roll flea market. So I was selling my stuff there, and then another band saw the shots, and then they hired me to shoot, and then someone in that band got signed. The band was Voivod, and then I got paid to shoot them, and then they backed up Rush on a tour, and then it just bigger and bigger and bigger, right?
Blessings and blessings and blessings.
Yes, exactly.
Do you have any favorite artists, musicians? Music you enjoy?
Yeah, I love all
kinds of
rock
and roll.
I love the rock stuff. I love all kinds of different stuff, and I love that my kid turns me on to tunes, and I love that sometimes when she's in the shower, one of my tunes comes on her playlist. I love it. Right? That's fantastic.
But which ones? Give us
So recent stuff, I'd say anything that Tom Morello does, like Atlas Underground. He just dropped that album 18 months ago.
Okay.
It's phenomenal. I listen to it constantly.
What genre is that?
Super crazy fusion. I don't know. I don't even know what to call it. You know, I would call it loud.
Okay.
But yeah,
that's not a genre.
My daughter has better terms for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else?
Yeah. And he has a lot of collaborators, so he does all kinds of different styles, which is great. Which is the same thing I do in photography. All kinds of different styles, right? Just different stuff. One day you're shooting this. One day you're doing that.
Right.
And that's what keeps it fresh. That's what keeps it exciting.
Do you think photography's kept you young?
There's no doubt. It's true. I see the other dads when they're picking up their kids. I'm like, he's not a photographer. Right?
Can you tell a photographer by looking at them?
I hope not. I hope we come in all shapes and sizes and everything else. But yeah. He's probably the one laughing the loudest, or just, no, maybe not. Maybe that's just me. But He's the one with the twinkle in his eye.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thinking about his next gig.
Yeah. I guess so. But that could be any person in the entertainment industry.
Certainly. Yeah. That's so true.
Is there any legacy you'd like to leave behind?
You define that legacy I like to leave behind in terms of the images I created, or
just your career, or just as you as a person?
Well, it's a fleeting thing, right? So the people of the day, I hope they love their shots, and I hope they love their shots in 15 years. Is that legacy? Is that,
yeah.
Maybe Snoop Dogg one day I'll go through his giant pipe and I was like, oh yeah, I remember that shot in Vancouver.
Probably every shot has a story, right?
Yes, absolutely.
But in terms of just your life legacy, what would you?
Life legacy. Oh my God, that's a big one. That's a big one. Peace and love, man. Peace and love.
Yeah. How would you like to be remembered? I guess is what I'm asking.
Oh wow. I'd like to be remembered as a good friend.
Mm-hmm. Aw, that's cute. Yeah. What is a good friend?
Good friend is the one that when you call 11 o'clock at night, even if he's in bed, he comes and gets you, right? Or even if he doesn't understand what you're doing, it doesn't matter. He's in there.
He supports you regardless.
That's it.
What about a good dad? No.
Well, but she'll be the proof of that.
Oh, okay.
I try hard. But she'll be the proof of that, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she already is.
Is there any place you would like to move to if you were in Vancouver to do work? Sure. I'd like a lot more gigs going on in New York City, right? A lot of stuff going on in Paris. I'd love to get a chunk of that stuff or whatever, but reasonable. You got to be reasonable to it. Or I don't know. Do you have to be reasonable? I don't know. What is keeping you in Vancouver?
Well, my kid.
Yeah. If you didn't have a kid, you think you'd be in New York?
Well, I don't know about that either because life is good here, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know.
You can never know, though.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I took a chance, came here from Montreal, so who knows? But yeah, we'll see. How's
the industry in Montreal?
My friends say the rates aren't as high.
Okay.
Right, which you expect, because cost of living isn't as high. So ask me again in a year. We'll see. Yeah.
Well, this has been fun.
Oh, you've been amazing.
Thank you for sharing yourself.
Yeah. It's COVID, but can I give you a squeeze?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
We're not hugging. All right, Daniel.
You're amazing, Anita. Thank you.
Nice to have you on.
Yay.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you.
Any last words?
Thank you.
All right.